Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. We have a question that came in from Samuel Vasquez to customer service, and Sam says, I am confused when you mention opening the club face and still pointing towards your intended target. Can you visually show what you mean? Thanks. Again, Samuel Vasquez. Okay, Samuel, it's a good question. I think we can easily get mixed up on that one. All right, I'm going to try to aim this dead at the aiming line, my aiming line at the camera, but normally there's still going to be a little bit of confusion on it looking dead perfectly square, all right, because the camera lens can mess that up. And so what I mean by that is, what happens when we open up the club face? Normally we see a lot of this when we're pitching and around the greens, and especially hitting high shots, high pitch shots, and even if we want to hit what they call those lob or flop shots. All right, so this is my aiming line. So normally what we say is the club face is square when the leading edge of the club face, this bottom part of the club face right here, the leading edge, and or some people like to look at the scoring lines. I like to look at the scoring lines, is dead square to the target. All right, I'll make it really thin. So that's dead square when the leading edge right here, this flat spot, is at a right angle to the aiming line. Now, if I open up the club face, say I'm a right-hander, opening up the club face, or even for a left-hander, it's turning the club away from your body. All right, so there's a square face, dead in line, okay? When I open it and it's now pointing somewhere over there, that's open. All right, conversely, if I come back to square and I shut it, which is kind of turning it in towards me now, remember, I'm holding the club, so I'm turning it towards me here, the face towards me, that would be shut. The ball will go lower and left. The reason why it goes lower is because a shut club face is de-lofting it, which means in this case, if I take this 56-degree sand wedge I have here, and I have it sold perfectly where it would be 56 degrees, all right? And why do I know it's 56? Because I've had Doc check it. I don't believe any club when it comes in what it's supposed to be. I want it to know that it is what it's supposed to be, all right? And he checks them on his machine, on his line loft machine. All right, nothing goes in my bag until I've checked it. I say the same thing to DJ. Nothing goes in his bag until Doc has checked them for the right length, the right lie, the right loft, the right frequencies, everything. Okay, so that's square. If I turn it open, I'm adding loft, which means this shot will not go as far anymore. And if I hit it dead straight off that club face, it's now going over there, which is where it's lined up straight flat to the right. If I shut it, it's now de-lofted. So I've just taken this 56 and maybe turned it down to 54, 50, or could be even the more I loft it. Notice what else is happening. I'm getting forward shaft lean. All right. See, if I have just the club regular square right now, trust me, it's square. As I shut the face, I get more lean. Right. See, it's got a lot more shaft lean forward, and I've de-lofted it. This might be as the loft of a pitching wedge. Now, why would I want to do that? Because I still want this club. I want it to. It might make it nibble a little bit more when it hits the green, kind of slow down and skid, you know, like put some brakes on it, check up a little, you heard it say, which means it's kind of biting a little bit. Or when I open it up, it's going to go up higher and come down softer and stop quicker and not roll out as much. The more I close it, the lower it goes, the more it tends to run. The more I open it, the higher it goes. It comes down and lands more like a brick and doesn't roll as much. So now you're asking, what happens if I open up my club face? All right, well, we know that in many cases we always want to be on all regular shots, and I'm talking from a right-hander's perspective now. I walk into the club, my club face is dead square down the line, and my face is square. But now for whatever reason, I'm up close. The pin's I'm fairly close to the green. I only got, say, 12 feet of green between the fringe and the flag, and I need to get the ball up more so it'll sit down more. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to open up my club face a little. So now I take that club face and I'm going to open it up a little. Now, I always believe that you should open up the face to what you feel you need, what you want. How do I know that? From hitting thousands and thousands, if not millions, of pitch shots, okay? And so now I know that I want this much open for the amount of shot I need to hit. So I always take it, I look at it. See right now? That is not square to the ground anymore. That's square. That's open. That's square, that's shut. Okay? Let me walk up to the camera here and get a lot closer so hopefully you can see it better. That's square, straight to the ground. That's open. That's square, that's shut. Okay? So I always do it in the air. I always do it in the air because once I set the face I want, then I have to do what? If I walk in right now and I leave this club face aimed right out over there to the right of the camera, and I swing this club straight back and straight down the line and come into impact with that face aimed there, the ball's going there. But I don't want it to go there. I want it to go to the camera. That's where the hole is. All right? So if I open it up that much, see, I haven't changed it in my right hand, even though I let go with my left. I haven't changed it. What I have to now do is I have to walk in and I have to turn myself a little open until that club face is now square to the line. And notice what I did. If I walk in straight and the face is over there, as I turn it, what do you see happening to my toes? They're opening up to the line. Okay? And eventually, when you go from square to open, the ball visually appears to move forward. So I just went from the middle of my stance, so now it's looking a little bit closer to my heel. All right? Or just behind my heel. But now my face, if I've turned the right amount with this grip, see the face is still open. Right? See, it's angled like this. Square is there. Open is there. So the face is open, but when I get in here and I get into my proper posture, the face is now square to the target. Because the difference between peak performance and using the peak performance in the surge swing in setup is that today most players or teachers will tell you, aim your club when you want to cut across and get more loft, aim it out to the right. You stand to the left and you swing and cut across the line, and as you're cutting across, if the face is square at impact, it might go to the target. It should go to the target if it's square, but it still might have cut because you're cutting across the ball. But just because I'm coming here with a short shot that might only be the effect of just tossing a ball that far, I don't break the rule of on, square, and solid. That is, physics says if you want to hit a good golf shot with control and relatively straight and accurate, the club has to, this is my aiming line, the club has to approach the ball on the aiming line, strike it on the line and be square, leave on the line accelerating, and hit it solid in the sweet spot. Well, even if I hit it solid in the sweet spot and I'm cutting across it, the ball's rolling across the face. It's still got a good chance of starting a little right at the target and moving right. All right? But we're going to swing. We're not going to swing outside and in across the target. We're going to we open up the face, open up the body. So I can open up the face this much and get me there. But now I could open up the face this much straight up. But now to get that square, I'd have to be standing like this. I can't make a swing. So every club has a limit to how much you can open it or close it. Okay? So even if I opened it up this much, the face is square. Now I'm going to swing up and down the aiming line. We never violate on, square, and solid. That's one of the laws of physics given us by God. If you want to hit it solid, straight, and have more ball control, and do it and maximize everything, especially hitting it more solid is going to give you a better chance of hitting it at the correct distance. You always have to have the face square, open up. If you're opening it up, or if you close it a little bit, you're going to change that a little bit to have the face square at impact. But we always swing on, straight up and down the line and finish in front of us. So we don't cut across our body. We swing in front of our body and keep the club going down the line. So I'd still, even though I'm square here and I'm slightly open, I'm going to come back in the mitt and up the tree. I'm going to come down. The club's going to come in, square up at impact, and go up. Now, if I want to keep the club higher, the ball higher, I might even keep a little bit of under releasing, meaning my lower hand goes up skyward to keep the face skyward. That'll go higher. If I was chipping, I wanted to hit it lower, I could over release, but I'm going to hit it straight, and I'm going to just release a little bit more if I wanted to bring it in low and run it. Okay? But we're always on, square, and solid. So whatever bit we open up the face, we open up the body to a little left, keeping the face squared, and we swing up and down the line. That's the secret to opening and closing a club face and still having on, square, and solid, which is the ultimate thing to really have good contact and control your golf ball in terms of distance and direction, so the ball goes where you want it to go. And when you get it closer to the hole, because you hit it where you want it to go, you got a chance of making more putts and shooting those lower scores. All right, well, that's it for the search for today on how we handle opening and closing the face and swinging down the line with a square club face. That's it for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.